Welcome to Stream This, where we stream shows to let you know if you should
stream this.
I'm JP Lambiase.
I'm at that Becket on Instagram.
I'm Humphrey.
And we just finished watching Barbarian that is now streaming on HBO Max. It was a movie in the theaters. Does anyone know about this?
Yeah, apparently it was in the
Yeah,
theaters.
supposedly it was like the big movie, like
The
last
big
month.
movie.
Everyone
Right.
kept talking about it, but no one knew what the movie was about.
It's a horror movie. So we go into as the audience going like, oh, what's going on? We don't really trust anything. And basically a lot of little secrets kind of gradually get revealed during the entire movie. I do respect how they kept it very, very simple.
It's tight, isn't it?
Very tight.
Yeah, that's why I'd say its strength is that it's a nice little package.
They just kept saying like it was one of the best horror movies of the year.
Oh, really?
Right.
That's a lot to say about
So
this movie.
it's called Barbarian, but all I knew about it going in was there's this woman that goes to an Airbnb, and that's what happened. So it took us, I think, about 10 minutes into it before I kind of got why it was called Barbarian, because they're on Barbary Street.
I also want to say it's pretty barbaric what happens in the movie, so maybe that's part of the reason why it's called Barbarian.
There you go. I don't know who the director is.
I know that it's produced by Bill Skarsgård. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he's in the movie.
Okay, so
Pennywise.
Skarsgård is Pennywise, and I noticed him right away, and I was like, well, this woman's going up to a house, and she should be scared because it's Pennywise there. But what was his name? Keith.
Well,
Keith in the movie, right?
Yeah, Keith.
Yeah.
But the thing is like she goes to this Airbnb, and like the town is all dark. So like the street that she goes to, it's all dark and you can't see anything. All the houses have no lights, and you don't know what the town, like the street looks like.
Right. It looks like a war zone. It looks like it's a bad part of Detroit, and Detroit's been through some stuff.
Actually, you don't know that until the next morning.
That's true.
But in like at night when she gets there, it's raining, and all
Right.
you see is just the silhouette of the houses, but you can't tell if it's like a nice area or not.
Right. And she finds out this house has been double booked by her and Keith, and they eventually come to an arrangement where she's going to stay in the bedroom, he's going to stay on the couch because he feels really bad for her. And we don't know for like the first 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, is this guy a bad guy or a good guy?
Yeah, exactly.
So where is the monster? I mean, that's what I was looking for, is like, where is the threat?
Because he comes off kind of creepy.
He
Like,
does.
yeah.
He does. But it could be because he's Pennywise, and we're conditioned to believe that.
I will say though, this is like one of the movies on my list that makes me not want to go to Detroit.
But here's the thing that really got me. All these plot points in the movie had no tie-in to any purpose of the movie. And that bothers me a lot. For example, why is Keith there? And why is
Well, they
Tammy, Tina?
Tess.
Tess. I thought there'd be some tie-in where they were there like they were chosen to be there, but there's no chosen.
No, there's not. No,
just
there's
random
not
people
chosen.
who
So,
just got Airbnb.
And who's running the Airbnb? Is it
Well,
Justin Long?
so yeah, we found out it's AJ.
AJ.
owns the house, and he has. If you remember, there's a scene in the movie where he has an argument with the management company.
476 Barbary.
So a lot of these people buy a house, set it, and forget it.
So that's pretty much it.
Right. It's
There's
his
no relationship.
It's his home, but he has it as a crappy little investment property that he's
Yeah.
Airbnb-ing out for a little bit of money.
But what's also odd is he's owned this for how long? Probably long enough to have like at least been like, oh, a lot of my tenants die.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I guess like all the tenants die, so they don't get to leave a review after.
They don't
there
leave
should
a
be a
review.
stack of
Do
cars.
they even pay?
Yeah.
Oh, do you pay on Airbnb before? Is that the
Well,
case?
maybe Boob Monster's getting up there on HomeAway and just like typing the reviews
Yeah.
for people.
So yeah, that is one thing I was gonna bring up. So the minute we get all this tension, we don't know who to believe.
Stop. Just stop.
I think they do it really great. Like the thrill, the unknown. I was on the edge of my seat. I called out a couple of jump scares. I hate jump scares. I can spot them a mile away. Once like things started to happen, and then we started to see her get trapped underneath the basement, this door would close and lock. Now, I thought there was going to be more to that, like supernatural or some sort. Nothing supernatural going on. We're going to go off the cuff here. I just really think that they didn't tie in a lot of questions I had, and they were just moot plot points.
Okay, I think I know part of our problem. And it's we've seen so many movies that we are trying to write it as it goes, and we're trying to make it fit and make it really clever.
Yeah.
Well, they did like explain some of the stuff, but it was like really like short and fast.
What about the door? So what's about the...
Yeah,
The one thing that movie did great was flash forward, flashback. And we find out we go back to this guy who used to own the house. And he used to abduct these ladies and keep them in this room and film them doing who knows what it was.
Yeah.
And he set up these booby traps. But somewhere along the line, he decided to build this is a vast tunnel system under his house and be sick there like 20, 30 years, 40 years later.
What was that movie? The one... The
People
Hills
Under
Have-
the Stairs?
No, Hills Have Eyes. It's kind of like that.
It is like that. Also, a recommendation for viewers, if you like this movie, there is an 80s movie called The People Under the Stairs that's very, very reminiscent of this. You've got...
so?
There were cannibals, though.
Okay.
But there's weird people that lived under the stairs, and they reminded me so much of this film. But that had like a humor element. This wasn't a funny... Actually, the Justin Long scene,
10 by 12, that's 120.
he acted like a guy.
Last chance.
You know, he had a knife and was like, if anyone's, down the stairs, I'm going to mess him up. Yeah, I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
I do things like that. So I really thought his acting was phenomenal.
Him finding like a secret like rooms down there, and then he went up back into like Zillow or whatever.
God, that was...
Can underground rooms be listed?
Square footage would increase the value of his property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the cops in the movies were just a bunch of idiots.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about the cops.
I've been held prisoner.
So you don't have ID.
You're crazy, lady.
Being held in
Ma'am, take your hand off the door.
Yeah, and she
We're
was,
not going to help you.
she said that she was kidnapped and she
Right.
escaped, and
Yeah.
they just
They're
acted like
desensitized.
I'm not going
Yeah.
in
They don't
that
even
house.
care.
it's not my problem.
I am not a crackhead.
She did not look like a person on drugs.
No,
I mean, she was speaking
a
coherently.
attractive
She has this
woman.
beautiful teeth.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought anything of her if I would have seen her
He
walk down the street.
disregarded her. I thought he was going to hit on her.
Yeah.
He did the complete
Right.
opposite.
Right, and left her to
He could have been
die
a
with
hero. He
Boob
could have been a
Monster.
hero. They could have been a hero.
Right.
She was the hero. She became the hero. She's the one that's like, I'm going to go back in there.
I don't know. She just kept doing stupid things throughout the whole movie, which kept annoying me. It was like, why are you going back? You just like were just
Right, and she'd do
about
them with
to
vigor.
die.
Like she'd do it bravely. Like,
Yeah.
walk right back in here, bust a window.
I'm sorry, but I hate, like, first of all, dark basements. Like,
yeah.
Right. I did love the scene where the homeless guy who was he kind of filled the niche of the wise sage who like was trying to help these people out, where it's like, we're safe in here. The boob monster never comes in here. Boob monster busts right
It's like
through the wall.
was he trying to instruct her?
We need to go. We need to get through. We need to get out of here.
Was he like, help? You know, in that moment where Keith was just like, hey, don't.
That's the way out.
We got to go this way, and the girl was like, no, I came from here. We got to go this way.
That whole conversation
Yeah.
made no sense because what was the point of the dialogue? They should have just, if he was that scared and
Right.
he got that close to getting out, he should have just kept going out. And even if he saw her, like, oh, what's up? Oh, yeah, I'm going. You know what I mean? Like, I would have never sat there in a dark hallway having dialogue
Right.
back and forth. I would have, again, like one of those things where it's like, get out. Like, the movie should just be called Get Out.
Yeah.
And then be
Like Get Out?
Yeah.
The movie with Get Out?
But it would be, Get Out
Part
now. just because like literally every scene is, they had an opportunity
Yeah.
It's
to
funny.
get
It's
out.
funny that you said Get Out because she did say nope,
Yep.
and that's another
Yep.
film by the same writer.
Oh yeah, you're right. Nope.
What's his name? I can't even remember.
Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele. Yeah, it's Jordan Peele. It was Nope.
Yep.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
I didn't.
No,
I heard
didn't
it
see
wasn't that good though.
It's like this. There are some bizarre interests. Hollywood's trying to be creative. Sometimes
Yeah.
creativity doesn't always work out with horror.
I get
it does
it.
within the monsters themselves. Mm-hmm. But horror is, I don't think it's a genre we want to mess too much with. Like adding something like adding comedy to horror is good, or adding sometimes even romance to horror can work. I mean, look at Interview with the. Well, I guess that's not a romance. Interview with the Vampire, but
There's a big like boob monster down there, right? It's a.
yeah, we've called her Boob Monster. Yeah,
She looks like the witch from Left 4 Dead. Yeah, have you ever played? Left 4
I
Dead?
haven't, but I've heard about this witch a few times from Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, but
So what I don't understand is the boob monster and the whole breeding. Like that's expensive. You know what I mean? Like you got
Yeah, and where does erotic? I mean,
you got to feed them. You got to raise them. Like this man's got to do all this stuff,
Right.
And he's got to keep crossbreeding and
Right.
and creating crazies. How's the
Right.
crazy not kill
Okay,
him?
One thing that I don't understand.
I think they end up becoming like cannibals and they start eating their victims.
right. So one
Yeah.
thing that we've declared this movie has nothing supernatural in it, but Boob Monster like Hulk jumps down there.
Yeah, she's a little supernatural.
She can rip people's arms off.
She's a little supernatural.
Right. So I don't know how many generations of inbreeding she has, but Boob Monster has two things going on with her. She really wants to breastfeed people.
Well, they have a name for these these kind of like inbred creatures. They call them mongoloids. So they're like you ever heard
Really?
of that? Yeah, mongoloids. So mongoloids basically like what you call it? Hills Have Eyes.
Okay.
They were like the same thing. They were like deformed.
Like
Inbred.
that's what they used to call people with Down syndrome, mongoloids.
Well, yeah, they kind of call them
okay.
like that in the movies too.
So Boob Monster's powerful. I mean, she can get hit by a car. She can take.
Yeah, I don't. You know, a lot of it I feel like is a little bit supernatural with this character.
Right.
I do think that like, as far as the movie goes, like if we're gonna just break it down as like the story from start to finish, the pacing's really good because you have 3 separate stories that kind of happen, which kind of makes it seem like a mini series within a movie. There could have been a little bit more tie-in and connection, in my opinion, but overall it was just like a easily digestible popcorn flick horror. It was different, it was unique, and it didn't really play off a lot of the tropes that I see a lot of these horror movies do. Again, I'm thinking on a Hollywood budget level, you have one set, one scene, like
Right.
4 or 5 actors.
Right. Even though you have a couple ringers in there. I mean, you got Skarsgård. Of course, it was his baby. I guess I don't know how much he gets paid to be an actor to be in his own film. But Justin Long was he wasn't the hero of the film.
It's a standout.
But he was a standout. His acting was
Absolutely.
phenomenal, and you saw that there on the screen.
The thing that most horror movies do really well is they leave you guessing until the very end. Like even when it's like could be the monster, or like let's say in
Right.
Scream it's Ghostface. The minute I saw a visual and I'm like, I literally almost checked out of the movie.
Okay, well that leads us to the question: would you stream this?
I would not stream this.
I would stream this, but I'd stream this. I wouldn't stream this, but I'd stream.
If you're watching this episode, I wouldn't stream it. But if you only watch the beginning of this and you don't want to know what happened, stream it because that's the reason why I wanted to watch it.
I
just
had to
find out.
finish it.
Yeah, find
If
out
I were
what
to-
this movie
yeah.
was about.
If I were to, yeah,
if you do stream it, watch it with friends. It's always funner that way.
definitely watch
Yeah.
it with friends.
Oh, are we going to try to figure out the rating?
Yeah, let's do it. So what would you guess? IMDb.
I would give it maybe a 6.2 maybe.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're right because horror movies are kind of rated lower. We've just been watching so many like things at 9. It's hard for me to rate something. Maybe 7.1. Like
Goes to Becket,
Early-
7.3.
okay, all right.
Really close, Becket. Just like every horror movie, there's nudity.
Yeah, Boob Monster.
I got turned on, like literally, a few times. Boob Monster turned me on.
I'm not going to the beach for a week now.
I think it moved. I think it moved a few times during my session. But my favorite character, if I'm gonna like break it down, Boob Monster.
Boob Monster.
She was like
Team
had a
Boob
heart.
Monster.
Did you see the heart at the end? No character represented heart in the entire
It's true.
film except for her
Right.
at the end.